Welcome to the I Can't Do This podcast. I am your host, Aaron Davis, and I'm going to be talking about my life experiences through the sport of baseball. I'm a sixth-year college student at the University of Loyola in New Orleans, and the only reason why I got 6 years was because my freshman year, I redshirted, and then my sophomore year, COVID happened. So I got 6 years to play. I'm getting my master's degree right now in marketing. So we're just going to talk about how I got here, my experiences as a baseball player, and then what might happen next after my last year in school, which I thought was going to be last year. I had no idea I was coming back for a sixth year. Um, but like every athlete, I played every sport when I was younger. Started at the age of 5, playing baseball, played basketball, played football, little league football, played all of that. Played soccer in elementary school, was terrible at soccer. I don't understand how anyone is coordinated with their feet at all. I can't kick with my right foot, can't kick with my left foot. The only thing I can do with my feet is run. That's about it. So soccer was I didn't play soccer after elementary school. When we moved it up to middle school, I played football and basketball. So in middle school, I was one of the smaller guys, smaller, shorter, skinnier. I know my freshman year of high school, I barely hit 100 pounds my freshman year of high school. So in middle school, had to be like 85, 90, short. So football was an experience for me. I actually quit football. For 2 distinct experiences that I remember, I quit football. I remember in a game, I was playing DB or cornerback, guarding a receiver. And this play, it was a running play. So the quarterback hiked the ball, tosses it to the running back, and I'm getting blocked by this wide receiver, right? And I saw the running back coming, so I get off of my block, and I see the running back sees me, okay? I get off my block, so it's only me and the running back. The only thing in between us is space, all right? So the only problem was the running back did not try to juke me. He didn't try to get around me. He didn't slow down. I tried to keep my ground, and he came up to me, and he put his shoulder in my chest, and I fell back. And when I fell back, he put his cleat on my chest and stepped on me and used me as a boost and kept going for a touchdown. So that was one of my problems with football. I was way too small. I got run over all of the time. I got run over in practice. And this one is what really made me like, no, I couldn't play football. I was being used as a demonstration. He told me to come play running back. I've never played running back before, but he was like, it's for a demonstration for the defense or whatever. So I said, okay, cool. So he comes to me, explains what I'm doing. He said, I'm going to run through the 4-hole. And the 4-hole is basically there's a center, and every hole to the right of the center goes 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 8. And I'm going to run through the 4-hole. And he was like, we're going to run through the 4-hole right there. I said, okay, cool. But I didn't know this was a demonstration for the defense to see who can get to the hole faster. So I got handed the ball, and before I get to the line of scrimmage, I just see blackness. Someone hit me, and I'm on the ground. He fell on top of me, and I knocked the wind out of me. And this is when I knew I was done. I couldn't breathe. My chest hurt. I was lightheaded, and the coach was like, oh, my gosh. They were like, I think he might have broke your ribs. I said, broke my ribs? How do people even play this game? So I was like, no, I'm done. Not playing football anymore. So, move on to basketball. Football out of there. Basketball comes around, and I'm pretty decent at basketball. I got a little shot on me, okay? And I remember when tryouts came, there was a 2-day tryout, and it was at like 6 a.m., okay? I showed up, ashy. In the morning, it was 6 a.m. It's really cold outside, especially, I don't know why it was cold outside during basketball season, though, but I remember being freezing. And I remember sitting outside waiting for the coach to show up before our practices, and I would be outside, and it would be cold. I never put lotion on, so my knees were really ashy, okay? Everyone knew that, too. But, so after the first day of tryouts, our coach sits everybody down, and he's like, after the first day, only one person has made the team already. Okay, they're still gonna come tomorrow, but they already made the team. He said, "It's Aaron Davis. He made the team." He's like, da 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 da, and everyone's looking at me, and I thought I was the dude, like I was that guy. Like I made the team before everybody else did. I must be cold. Somehow I still made the B team. But I started. That's all that matters, right? Is I started on the B team. Anyway, in middle school, I transferred to a new school and new district than what I was in elementary school. So I didn't really know anybody, and no one really knew me. And only people knew me was because of my number. My number was number 2 in basketball, and I wore these goggles I had to wear contacts now, but I wore glasses and sports goggles. Okay, so they called me number 2 or goggles when I was on the court from the stands. But let's go number 2, let's go goggles. And then no one ever really knew my name in middle school. So that was basketball, but I thought I did pretty decent in basketball. I was a shooter and a point guard. Then moving on to high school is where I had to choose one sport to play. So in middle school, my middle school didn't have a baseball team, so I didn't play during the season. I played over the summer. I played summer ball, baseball. And I mean, that was fine and all. I get to high school, and obviously wasn't playing football. Obviously was not playing that. Way too small. I think I got to high school, 100 pounds, 5'2", 100 pounds. Football player, no, out of there. Basketball was no go either. I tried out for the basketball team though, because I thought, I made the B team, starting team, first day of freaking tryouts. So I thought I was gonna make the basketball team in high school. Nope, that did not happen. I was not good. I don't know if I didn't practice or something, but I did not do good at the tryouts at all. I would have cut me too. Cut me a lot sooner than they did. The only thing I remember from that whole experience was there was a fast break. We were scrimmaging each other during the tryout, and there was a fast break. And I'm sitting at the 3-point line trying to be the next Steph Curry, get past the ball, shoot it, and I completely missed the goal. I wouldn't call it an air ball because it didn't go under the goal. I guess you could have called it air ball, but it didn't go under. It went over the entire goal. Didn't hit the backboard, just went over. And then the coach was looking around. They were like, who shot that shot? And I knew for a fact I was not making the team after that. So, football out of there, basketball out of there, and there's baseball. That's it. So I tried out for the baseball team, and I made the baseball team. Okay, I made JV2. So my school, it was a 6A school, and 6A just means a lot of people that go to my school. It's the highest number. Anyway, so there's a lot of people. So we have 3 different teams. There was a varsity team, the JV team, and the JV2 team. I made the JV2 team as a freshman, which is normal. Freshman team is usually JV2 team. There are some freshmen that made varsity and played varsity, but the JV2 team is basically the freshman team. So freshman year played JV2, sophomore year played JV2, but I was having fun. I was chilling. Okay, I don't want to hear anything. Okay, but the summer of my sophomore year going into my JV year or junior year, I grew to 6 foot, 6'1", whatever I am right now. I tell people 6 foot, so we're gonna keep it at that. So I'm 6 foot, and I grew about a lot of inches over the summer, and I had a growth spurt, and I got to 6 foot. Okay, so transitioning to my junior year, I was on the JV team, and during this season, we found out something happened, and we ran 60-yard dashes, and I ran really fast. It was like a 6.3 second 60-yard dash, and to compare that to see if that's good or not, in the major leagues, I play center field. In the major league center fielders, their 60-yard dash, they would run it 6.6 seconds, 6.5 seconds. So I was a junior in high school running a 60-yard dash in 6.3 seconds. And that was unheard of. This was insane. So after finding this out, my coach comes up to me in the middle of my junior season, having an amazing season on JV, amazing season. He comes up to me and he goes, I have some good news and I have some bad news. What do you want to hear first? I was like, let's do the bad news first. Gotta end on the good news, right? So he says, all right, bad news first. You are not playing anymore. You're not playing any more games on JV. I said, oh wow. So what could the good news be? I thought I was getting cut. He's like, well, what could the good news be? He's like, we're moving you up to varsity. And I thought this was amazing. Like, this was such an accomplishment that I wanted to do my entire high school career. So halfway through my junior year, I got to play varsity baseball. The only problem was I didn't play. He only brought me up to run bases. So I didn't really play on varsity anyway, you know. And so I would rather have stayed on JV and started and played the rest of my season than moving up to varsity and not playing and losing that experience to run bases. Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me. So then my senior year comes around, and I didn't start at the beginning of the year, my senior year, but I ended up starting, and I started for the rest of the season, and I had a decent season. The only thing was, because I was a senior, college was starting to pick it up. Everyone was like, "Oh, where are you going to college? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? All this. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. But I did have one thing, and that was a non-negotiable. I said, if I'm playing college baseball, I am playing D1 baseball at the biggest stage, at the biggest schools, all this, all that, or I'm not playing baseball at all. And I was set in stone on this, because I was like, there's literally no reason to go to college, play baseball, if I'm not getting drafted, if I'm not playing at the biggest stages ever. Okay. To tell you how that worked out, I'm at an NAIA school right now, so that is not D1. Okay. And how did I end up here? So out of high school, I thought I was done playing baseball. Throughout my summer, going into my freshman year of college, I applied and got accepted to the University of Houston, and that's where I was going to go to school. I wasn't going to play. I might have tried to walk on, but if I didn't make it, then it is what it is. But I was planning on going to the University of Houston out of high school. Like, I applied, got accepted, took the tour, did all this and all of that. And 2 weeks before class starts, my summer baseball coach asked me if I wanted to keep playing baseball, that there was a junior college that was in the Dallas area that that I could play at. So I was still kind of set on just going to school, but I was like, yeah, let's go see it out. I'm not going to like burn any bridges like this, right? So I told him, I was like, yeah, let's go check it out. So I went and I went to go meet this coach at Grayson College. And the thing is, I didn't know anything about junior college. I didn't know anything about this school. I was just told the school was great. And the school was good. Turns out this school is one of the best junior colleges in the nation, has one of the best players, and everyone that starts at the school either gets drafted or goes to a D1 school, which I didn't know at the time. I was just like, oh yeah, let's go check it out. So I go check it out, and the first thing, it was like a little workout because the coach didn't really know who I was. It was just a reference from my summer coach. So I go check it out, and the first thing we did was run a 60-yard dash, which I was amazing at. Run a 60-yard dash. I ran a 6.36 second 60-yard dash, which is incredible. And after that, he basically wanted me immediately because he was like, oh, crap, this dude can run. This dude can help me here and here and here. But we still did the rest of the tryout, or you want to call it tryout, visit or whatever. Went to go hit. We went to go field, played outfield, did infield, whatever. And he would basically, after it, he told me that he would take me. And the biggest thing was, out of this whole thing, the last thing he said to me, he was like, yeah. He said it so casually, though. He was like, yeah, you could come to junior college and play 1 year, then get picked up by the Orioles. Now, the Orioles are a Major League Baseball team. And when he said picked up by the Orioles, that didn't really register for me because no one ever really told me that getting drafted was an option for me. I never even thought about getting drafted at that point in my life. But when he said that, I was like, oh, this could happen for me. This is something I could do. This is one of the best, after they told me everything, I knew this was one of the best junior colleges in the nation. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go get drafted. But the thing about me in high school was I graduated high school at 17. So I didn't turn 18 until my freshman year of college, which was a big factor in my red shirt my freshman year. I was still kind of small. I wanted to put on some weight a little bit. I left high school at 145, which is insane. 145, 6 foot. This was just crazy. So my freshman year, before I even accepted the offer, my parents, my coach, we told the Grayson coach that we were going to redshirt me because I was young. I was 17. So he was like, let's give me a year to develop, and then we can start seeing what happens in my career. So the thing about that was junior college is not a place to develop. People go to junior college because they want to get drafted or their grades are not that good so they can transfer to a different school. So if you don't play well at junior college, then you're out of luck. You can't really transfer out of there and go to a really good school. Or you can't do what you want to do, like go big D1, go get drafted. If you don't play good at junior college, then it's over. So it's not really development here. You play and you play good, or your baseball career is stunted, right? Which I didn't know at that point either. I heard drafted, so I was going. And after my freshman year, we have exit meetings with the coaches, and the coach comes up to me, and in our meeting, he was like, I think you did an amazing job this year. You could have started this year. You could have played this year. I think you were good enough to play this year, but I think it was a good idea to hold you back and help you, like, put on weight. I put on 15 pounds, the freshman 15, which I didn't think was going to happen for me. But I put on 15 pounds my freshman year, and I thought I was like, okay, cool. Now I'm 160 as a freshman. All right. Or as a sophomore going into my sophomore year. But he was like, I think you did a great job this year. I think you had potential to play a lot this year, but I think it was a good idea that we wait till next year. Okay? Because as a redshirt, I couldn't play in the spring games, but in the fall, I got to play. And we played 60 games in the fall. There's 60 games in the fall and 60 games in the spring. It's like 2 freaking seasons. But I got to play in the fall, and he told me that I could play. But he wanted to still wait, okay? So my sophomore year, I didn't really do that great in the fall. And then this was sophomore year of college. So this is 2019, fall of 2019. So in the fall of 2019, the exit meeting comes around at the end of the semester, and I promise you I did not play good at all. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know what I was on, but I did not play good at all. So I ended up playing bad, and the coach obviously knew this, and he comes up to me. He's like, dude, honestly, I don't see how you can play here right now. We have D1 guys transferring in. We have all these other people that are already here that are in front of you, and people transferring in. Like, we don't see how you're going to be able to play. But he did tell me, he was like, but if you do stay, like, it's cool. Who knows, maybe you will be the pinch runner of the World Series game, and we put you on second, and you run in to be the winning run of the World Series or whatever, which is great, but I did not want to be on their team where I'm pinch running where I'm running bases for everybody for the entire year. So I was like, no, I'm done. So this is the second time I was like, I'm done with baseball. So over Christmas break, I was looking at schools. I was thinking I was going to go back to the University of Houston and be done with baseball. And then my summer coach came in to me again. He was like, yo, there's a school in New Orleans. They would love to have you. Let me reach out, and let's keep your career going. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm already this far deep. I might as well keep going. So we come out to New Orleans, meet the coach. It was amazing. Loved the school. Loved the coaching staff. And I ended up transferring here in spring of 2020. In spring of 2020, guess what happened? COVID happened. So I see it as a blessing. I think God was working something out, because if I was still at Grayson during 2020 and COVID happened, then I would be 2 years deep in school. I would have got my associate's degree, but COVID would have cut my year short, and now where was I going? Every school was backed up from recruits and everything, so there was literally nowhere for me to go, right? So I think that was a blessing that I ended up coming to Louisiana, and I've been here ever since. It's 2023. Still here. Graduated high school in 2018. But I love the baseball program here, and throughout these levels or throughout the both schools I've been at, one a top tier D1 junior college, and where I'm at right now at NAI is top tier NAI school, which we're in one of the best conferences at NAI. But the competition is still there. Like, there's still really good baseball to be played at every single level, and the only difference at every single level is only basically is only the pitching. Everyone can really hit, but it's just like if you're gonna see 95 or not. And even in NAIA, which no one ever really thinks about, but you still see 92, 95 from these certain schools, and people are still competitive, and people are still really good at baseball, at any sport. And that's what I really never really thought of when I was going to school for baseball out of high school, because I was like, I'm going D1 and nowhere, because I was like, there's no point. But I really enjoyed everything that's happened to me at this school. We hosted a regionals 1 year, and that's what the school has never done before. We hosted regionals. We went to the championship in a regionals game, which this team has never done before. And then last year we lost in the conference tournament, but that was because we had a lot of added. What is the word? I'm just gonna say problems. We had a lot of problems last year. I don't know the word. We had a lot of problems last year that we couldn't get over. And we didn't come up as a team to do better. But this year, we have our mindset is insane this year. Our coach got better, our players got better, recruits got better. And I think we're gonna win. We're gonna have the opportunity to go to a World Series this year, and that would be insane to do. That's what our goal is ever. Our coach that we have right now, before he came to Loyola, every school he's been to before this, he transfers to a school, makes the school better, goes to a World Series. That's what he does, goes to a World Series. And that's what he's doing right now, and that's what I think we're going to be able to do. But, yeah, so this is my last year in college, my 6th year in college, and I'm just excited to be here at this point. I did not think I was coming back at all, but I had a really good year last year, and coach asked me to come back, and I was like, yeah. I didn't look for a job last year, so I didn't have anything else to do, so I came back to school, and now I have to look for a job too, because after this year I can't come back at all. So so just follow if you enjoyed this podcast. I hope you like and follow and share it all to your friends, because this is just going to be just following up on my last year in college baseball.